coconut
That's
skin.
it.
Oh, he does it again.
You know that I'm gonna take his lads out in the first round.
It's the pressure fight.
Oh, right hand, he hurt him.
I mean, Ilia's face is just destroyed.
We literally had him get out of the octagon before the hand was even raised and sent him to the hospital.
More significantly was the eye damage. Both of his eyes were swollen shut. His nose was fucked up. He'd taken so many punches to the face, and it looked like perhaps orbital damage, like maybe he had a fractured orbital, because his whole thing had just swollen up on both sides. He was unrecognizable.
Now let's break down the key moments that allowed Justin Gaethje to gradually take control against Ilia Topuria over the course of the fight. Looking back at the action, it becomes much clearer how the injuries Topuria later disclosed developed through a series of damaging exchanges rather than from a single moment. The punishment steadily accumulated as the contest progressed, ultimately leading to the condition fans saw after the bout. The outcome surprised nearly everyone watching. In the aftermath, Joe Rogan shared his thoughts on the performance, while Dana White also weighed in on the fight and its dramatic conclusion.
Dana, I personally thought it was the most amazing sporting event that I have ever watched in my life. Absolutely pitch perfect. You put your heart and soul into this thing. Your organization put countless hours into putting this fight together on Sunday. You've had a few days now, a lot of money too. You had a few days.
I would never say anything. Listen, if you're thinking about retiring and that's what you want to do, you know, it's probably what you should do. But on the flip side, you just beat an undefeated badass, decisively finished him. And I don't know, it's just something that he needs to work out with, himself and his own mind and with his family, obviously.
Yeah, if it is the way he goes out, it's an untoppable.
Dana White's comments proved to be well-founded. UFC Freedom 250 delivered one of the most significant nights in the promotion's history, with massive anticipation surrounding every matchup on the card. However, once the event came to an end, attention quickly moved away from Justin Gaethje's impressive victory and toward Ilia Topuria's physical condition. Fans across the MMA world immediately began wondering how severe his injuries were. Not long afterward, Dana White addressed the situation and released the first official update on Topuria's health.
He's beat bad. Look at his face. We've never seen Ilia Topuria like this before.
Yeah, Ilia's in the hospital. He's busted up. I'm not a doctor, but his eye looked like he probably has a broken orbital. I don't know that's not a fact, but I'm just assuming. And my plans for him are to go home and rest and recover and take his time. And tonight was a rough night for him. I just want to make sure he's healthy and good, and not even thinking about him fighting again. Just want him to go home and relax and rest and heal.
Justin Gaethje's post-fight comments gave many fans a completely different perspective on the battle. He admitted that Ilia Topuria's explosive speed and relentless attacks to the body pushed him to the edge, revealing that his liver remained sore even after the fight had ended. His remarks highlighted just how close Topuria came to finishing the contest before everything changed. But championship fights can shift in an instant. Gaethje managed to survive the most dangerous moments, regained his composure, and once the momentum swung in his favor, the entire fight unfolded in a completely different direction. Few people described that dramatic turning point more effectively than Joe Rogan.
Through Ilia, was he as good as you thought he was? Was he better than you thought he was? Just can you talk about what you experienced in there with him?
I mean, he's very good. I mean, my liver still hurts right now. Those body shots were crazy. I mean, he was really, really fast, but when he didn't get the finish at the end of the second round, I think it really took his spirit. And, again, I said it in the press conference leading up. I was like, he really backed himself into a corner saying he's going to be so dominant. And I said it. When we go to the second round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? When we go to the third round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? And, that's what I did tonight.
Did you feel he was broken after he didn't get that finish?
I never felt he was broken because he was so dangerous at the whole time. But in the third round, when I started landing those jabs, when he started finding his back foot, I knew something was.
Joe Rogan's breakdown echoed the opinion shared by many fans after the fight. He argued that the outcome wasn't decided by a single fortunate strike or a random moment of luck. Instead, he believed the contest was ultimately shaped by a dramatic shift in momentum. According to Rogan, the turning point came in the second round when Ilia Topuria poured everything into an aggressive attempt to finish Justin Gaethje. For a short period, it seemed the undefeated champion was on the verge of securing the victory. But Gaethje managed to withstand the relentless attack. Once he regained his footing, the momentum swung firmly in his direction. As the championship rounds progressed, Gaethje's constant pressure began to take its toll, and the damage to Topuria's face became more noticeable with every exchange. Even as the swelling increased and his vision continued to deteriorate, Topuria refused to back down, earning widespread respect from both fans and fellow fighters for his toughness and determination.
That was the greatest fight of all time. It literally was the greatest fight of all time. Because the guy that won it, Justin Gaethje, was in many books 6-1 favorite, 6-1 underdog rather, which is crazy odds for a guy that was a interim lightweight champion, fought the best of the best, one of the best to ever do it, BMF champion. I mean, just super durable, real dangerous guy. And that's how good Ilia Topuria is. That's how good Ilia Topuria is. Ilia Topuria, in many people's eyes, is the most skilled of the new generation, and the new generation is the most skilled of all time. And Ilia was like the top of the mountain. And most people thought that he was going to be too much, and he was too much for a while. And he almost took Justin out in the second round. And then Justin rallied. And then Ilia, it looked like he got really damaged in either the first or the second round, and he was having real trouble seeing out of one of his eyes. And then Justin started landing bombs in the third round. Ilia had slowed down quite a bit. It looked like he had really tried to finish Justin in the second. And sometimes when you try to finish a guy, you just hit the gas way too much and you can't recover in between rounds. And Justin recovered, and Justin started battering Ilia in the third and fourth. And by the end of the fourth round, Ilia quit on his stool. He couldn't see out of either eye. He had gotten kneed into the body real bad when he was on the ground. Justin had him down with his two hands and just smashed a knee into his rib cage, and he could see him go like that. And that was the end of the round. And then he had to retire on his stool. And you think
he broke a rib?
That probably could have happened, but I think maybe more significantly was the eye damage. Both of his eyes were swollen shut. His nose was fucked up. He'd taken so many punches to the face, and it looked like perhaps orbital damage, like maybe he had a fractured orbital, because his whole thing had just swollen up on both sides. He was unrecognizable. And, the guy hung in there as long as he could. But when you can't see, you can't see. And when you're that battered, sometimes it's smart to stop. And he's a very smart guy, and I think he realized, I can't defend myself right now. I can't see. This guy's...
Paddy Pimblett viewed Ilia Topuria's loss from a different angle. Rather than concentrating on their personal rivalry, he focused on the psychological challenge of facing genuine adversity for the first time. Throughout his undefeated run, Topuria had always been the one setting the pace, overwhelming opponents with relentless pressure and often finishing fights before they had a chance to recover. Against Justin Gaethje, however, the dynamic was completely different. For the first time in his career, Topuria was forced to deal with sustained resistance from an opponent who refused to break, creating a mental test unlike anything he had experienced inside the Octagon.
Know what I mean? Which, to be honest, that might have played a part in it. Know what I mean? The fact that I hate Ilia and the fact that Justin beat me and I like Justin. But yeah, it's just Gaethje to get you into that dogfight, drags you into it. Know what I mean? And Ilia's never had that. Ilia's never had to come back from adversity. Ilia's only ever been the hammer. He's never been the nail. I don't think Ilia Topuria ever comes back the same. His whole mindset, his whole ego, know what I mean? His is I'm undefeated, no one can beat me. Having celebrations the night before the fight. I just don't think he'll ever be the same. He's never had to come back from nothing like that. I've had to face adversity before, so nothing can prepare you for it. That's the thing, and that's why I don't think he'll ever come back the same. Nothing can prepare you for it, but we'll find out what sort of man he is if he does come back and when he does come back, because as I say, I've been there before. I've been beat, know what I mean, and I've had to come back stronger every time, and I have done. he's never been beat. He's never had to do this before. He's gonna have to look at himself in the mirror and be like, "What? I've just got my head smashed in. I need to come back." And you never know, he might have the cojones to do it.
This time, however, the situation was completely reversed. Instead of being the one forcing his opponent into difficult moments, Topuria found himself having to battle through prolonged adversity. Paddy Pimblett believes the way he handles this experience could shape the future of his career. MMA history is filled with examples of champions who never fully recovered after suffering a major setback, while others used defeat as motivation to return stronger than ever. In Pimblett's view, Topuria's response to this challenge will ultimately determine which path he follows.
To try to drop you with body shots in the gym.
Yeah.
Is there any significance to that or any?
He would have made $1,000 off of me tonight if that was the case. Yeah, I mean, it still hurts right now. That hurts. My hand hurts. My jaw hurts. He is a formidable opponent. He was so good and so dangerous. And I never really got to. I didn't see him quit. I saw them almost stop the round and fight at the end of the third round. And I was like, no way. And then he's back out there and back to being dangerous. So yeah, this is a crazy sport.
Although Ilia Topuria had suffered significant damage throughout the fight, Justin Gaethje admitted he never truly felt out of danger at any point. He emphasized that Topuria remained a constant threat until the final moments, showing just how dangerous he was despite the injuries. Joe Rogan shared a similar opinion, describing Gaethje as one of the toughest and most fearless fighters in mixed martial arts. According to Rogan, Gaethje thrives in adversity, refuses to give up under pressure, and often delivers his best performances when the fight becomes its most intense and unpredictable.